Yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight, right here on IndieQuebec.com. It's the Prez, as always, joined by my co-host, none other than magnificent Dre Breeze. How you doing, Dre?
I'm doing good, guy. How you
It's been
doing?
a big week.
Yes, it has.
We got
Here,
the N8. It's big week in life. The weather's getting nice right now. There's a crazy epic storm outside, like Treehouse of Horrors style
oh,
here.
it hasn't hit here yet. Just
Oh,
the
it's
wind and
coming.
light.
It's freaking insane thunderstorm
Uh,
going on right here in Longueuil.
Crazy shit.
And yeah, crazy stuff happening in wrestling. How about we'll get right into it? There's two major stories. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy caught doing a DUI. I think it was at like 10 a.m. He was hammered, allegedly. And yeah, gets taken off of Dynamite, which was he was in the main event this week. Right away, they're saying that they're going to send him to rehab. Maybe we'll never see him back in AEW. I don't know. What's your take on all this? I mean, there's not much take to be had. It's just
I
like
mean, I,
that's
I feel bad for Jeff because at the end of
it.
the
It's
day,
bad, but
he's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He's
no,
a
he
nice
doesn't
guy.
seem like he's like
He's
trying to like fucking fuck anyone or hurt anyone. No,
no,
he's
no,
just
no, no,
hurting
no.
himself, and that's the
Every time
saddest
they
part.
catch, yeah, exactly. Every time they catch him, he's on his way home. You know what I mean? He's obviously in body pain, major body pain.
And the guy just
Like,
can't admit it, or he just can't stop, or
I don't know if it's a thing. Like, I'm not a wrestler. Like, I haven't been in the back with the guys over years and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's a faux pas talk about that type of shit, a manly thing, or it's hard for them to come out to each other and say, listen, man, I can't do it like this anymore, you know? And it's like he wants to be like one guy dissed him recently because he said that he was mad that in WWE he wasn't put in a more mid card main event type thing, like at least for the Intercontinental title or the US title or whatnot. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And some kids started dissing him and saying, oh, here's this old guy whose career's already been set, who's trying to be, you know what I mean? Like, still trying to be relevant when he's not, blah, 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 blah. Which in reality, of course, he is an older man, you know what I mean, when it comes
Yeah, I
to
mean, he was
wrestling.
having crazy matches still, though, to his credit.
Exactly. But to me, if you look at it, the Jeff Hardy way of seeing things, it's almost like he can't let go of being that main event guy. And his body is saying what everybody is saying, dude, it's okay. Just wrestle a normal match, man. Just do one
It's like,
swanton
no,
or one dive. No, he has to keep going up and trying to push and push and push and push. And it's like his body's saying, no, no. Like people are like, oh, did you see that crazy dive? You went through a table on Sting. I'm like, yeah. Did you ask how that 50-year-old man felt after diving off of a balcony through two tables? Everybody's like, oh, it's
for
Jeff
real.
Hardy. It's great. Yeah, Jeff Hardy's back and body is fucked up.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
just since he's
fucked up.
gotten to AEW, I can think of two insane bumps he took. One from super high up through just a table onto concrete backstage, and then another one, like in that Darby. Remember, he had just an insane ladder match against Darby Allin, which like
The
both guys
chair.
like should be
The
dead.
six, yeah, the six chairs when he flipped
Yeah,
on Darby
onto
Allin
the
on the
floor.
yeah, the chairs moved and they both fell on the floor. Exactly. Right there. Right there, Tony Khan should have said, okay, dude, it's enough. We're gonna stop you. You're not wrestling next week. You're going to a hospital. He's going to take fucking x-rays of your body. We're gonna evaluate you. And then we're gonna see if you're capable of wrestling in 2 weeks from now.
Like,
Like,
let's
because
go,
at
man. Keep going every week with this
yes,
insane.
oh, there's no problem. The Hardys are still glorious. You know what I mean? And then you look at Matt, and Matt never does that.
He's gone way more character, of course, these past few years, and that's worked well for him, for sure.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like I would rather Jeff comes out in the Willow character where he could be a character more than having to
Always trying
keep.
to steal the spotlight, or not maybe steal
Yeah,
the spotlight, but have his fair share of the spotlight, or
I
his
think
own
it's
perceived fair share.
I think it's just be Jeff Hardy. I think
The
it's
fans love
he
you. You don't have to do
he,
ladder matches
he
anymore.
exactly, but in his head he has to be Jeff Hardy.
Mhm.
The Jeff Hardy. Every time he comes out as Jeff Hardy, he's Jeff Hardy. That's why I say it would almost be better for him to be another character, because then he can recreate himself.
He won't
You
have so
know,
much pressure.
won't have so much pressure to be the enigmatic or however the fucking what he calls himself, fucking crazy stupid fuck that jumps off of balconies. Somebody said that he couldn't wrestle, that all he did was that. Who was it? Was it Ric Flair that said that? Somebody said that
Perhaps,
about.
but that's definitely not true. I mean, he's not the most polished wrestler. He's no Dean Malenko in the ring, but he definitely had his style, and it definitely fit into a WWE framework, you know?
Exactly. But at the end of the day, I love him. Whatever
Yeah,
happens
I
to him in the
mean, it's
future
just
is
sad at the end of the day, and
it's
he has
sad.
been having
It's
some
sad.
awesome
It's
matches.
sad. It's sad. It's sad. And you would think that a guy who's been around Mick Foley, Terry Funk, fucking Sabu, and he sees these guys'
How
bodies
broken
today,
they are. And he
how
just gets
broken
it's gotta
and
be. It's gotta be all related.
and to keep going. You know what I mean? I mean, fucking Christ. Sometimes I watch Mick Foley walk and I want to cry watching him walk to the ring because he can't fucking walk.
Just think
You
of
know
it.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
no, I know. It's so sad, McFoley. But at least now he lost a bit of weight, and I think he's doing the DDP yoga.
Yeah,
But
but
he
it's
was
his hit
like, about
and shit.
8 years ago, he couldn't walk upstairs. Apparently, like I thought he was
You
going to
know
be in
what
a
I'm saying?
wheelchair eventually.
At one limit, and somebody said it about Darby Allin. They were like, "Kid, your career is not gonna last 10 years if you keep doing this shit." I mean, it's cool to get a pop, but at the end of the day, you have to be a wrestler,
Sure.
not
Part of
a
wrestling is
circus.
to make it look fake and be able to make it to the next town the next day, able to do another match, not like
Exactly.
almost die 25% of
Like
your matches.
exactly. You're not a fucking circus fucking performer. This
No,
is an
really,
American
it is.
Got
It's
Talent.
pushing it. It's pushing it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a lot of AEW. I understand when Jim Cornette and some of the people in WWE say that AEW at one point, is it really wrestling? Or is these guys, a lot of these guys are just doing it to hear people say that shit's awesome.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You you could
It's
put
like
on a
the
five
whole it's
star.
like the whole PWG style, like wrestling for GIF style. Like all that matters is the spot. It doesn't matter how it fits into the psychology of the match. It doesn't matter who's heel, really who's face a lot of times.
Exactly. It's a spot. It's a spot. It's a spot. But what happens when you keep doing spots? People get injured. People's necks
Exactly. That's
break.
it. That's
People's
it.
careers get ended.
In the old days,
Like
they do like one max two spots in a match. And like it was awesome matches. You
exactly.
know?
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like well, I can't say there's no, because some guys put on amazing matches without having to do that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of these kids and these young guys and stuff, there's no in between. It's just 100% the pedal all the way down to the fucking bottom. And it's like, man,
There's a
watch Jay
definite
White.
like there's one like side of AEW that's definitely like that at least. There's like a at least like at least half, you know. But there's
Yeah,
some guys who are like differing away from that. I like the Jericho Appreciation Society, guys like that, you know. At
exactly.
least.
Or even look at somebody like Jay White, who's on
Oh
top
yeah.
of the game. And by the way, congratulations to Jay White for
Yeah,
winning the
new
fucking.
IWG champion.
I
GP.
mean, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? That in itself is an accomplishment. Do you ever see Jay White do 360 fucking flips on chairs outside of a goddamn ring? Does
No.
he need to do that? Can he do that? He did it a few years ago when he was a kid. He doesn't do it no more. He doesn't
No one
need to
needs to
do.
do it.
You don't need to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do it, because then all you do is you take away the luster of what it is when you actually do it. And then people expect it every week, like you're goddamn walking. He can flip like he can walk, and you can't,
There you
because no
go.
goddamn human can do that. You know what
They
I'm
should
saying?
definitely save it for the pay-per-view. Save it, you know. Less is
Or
more
save it
at the
for
end of
the
the
main
day.
event,
And that
one
doesn't
main
burn out the
event.
crowd.
Exactly. So let's kudos to
And
Jeff
yeah, don't
Hardy.
burn
Let's
out the
hope
main event. Like it's a fucking disservice to your main event to be
it is.
doing that
It
all
is.
show.
It is. And then you have a main event from two guys that wrestle another style, and
And
people
you're
are
like,
like,
eh.
you know what I'm saying?
It's
It's
like
supposed
riding
to
the roller
go
coaster all day and then going to play mini putt at the end of the day. Or something.
exactly. So let's just hope that he heals. Let's just hope
Yeah,
that Time Warner aren't as fucking cancel culture as they fucking been recently. For some
yeah.
fucking reason, if somebody slips up, he fucking cancel and take him off TV. It's like, yo, man, calm the fuck down. It's
They really
wrestling.
well, I know also like example, they own MTV and like a lot of not a lot, but quite a few people who have been on their like MTV reality shows get canceled pretty quick and they just erase them from the show. Like
And that's
just
not
like
MTV. That's not MTV. You know what I'm saying? Like MTV went from the music to the fucking reality shows, but let it be reality shows.
no, yeah, exactly.
Why are
Yeah.
you canceling reality shows and it's not reality? Like fucking buy Fox. Why did you buy MTV? Why do you have a wrestling show on if you're a fucking conservative that doesn't like that shit? Like fucking show the NWA. I'm sure fucking Billy Corgan would love to be on national television and he'll give
Definitely.
you your old school wrestling and nobody will curse and nobody will do a flip and nobody will get drunk and none of them are on pills. Like you signed the wrong fucking company, man. If you're a fucking cancel culture dude, you signed the wrong fucking company. Like at the end of the day, let's be real. Like
I
it's
think
not
they
fucking WCW. Like it's not. It's not 1989 anymore. You know
yeah.
what I'm
But do
saying?
you
Get
you
with the
see how during the ads now they have ads like that are very woke, and like there's nothing wrong with that, but like they're implicating the wrestlers into it
exactly. There's nothing wrong with being woke. There's
to a
something wrong
certain
with being
extent.
too woke. Too
There
woke.
you go, exactly.
When you're too woke, you're not awake. You're just fucking believing in 100% what you say, and there's no other
And you're
side to
walking on eggshells like I can't offend anyone. I can't say anything.
I can't say anything. I can't talk. I can't offend anybody. Oops, I used this word. Oh, I used that word. Oops, 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 oops. It's like just be fucking human. Like
That's it. At a certain
what the
point, it's
fuck?
just not authentic.
Exactly.
So
So
let's
let's
get
just hope
into
it.
some kind of other um un like shit you're not supposed to do. Basically, Vince McMahon apparently there's a lawsuit. This is all allegedly. Allegedly, he's being sued, or no, allegedly, he had to pay out a non-disclosure agreement to this woman who was an accountant in WWE for $300,000, and she's not allowed talking about whatever relationship that he and her had together. And now the corporate side of the company is like, why are you spending money on that? So they're investigating him. Like the
Wow.
corporation is kind of turning against the McMahons. Stephanie
Exactly.
quit before, so apparently she might have already known that this was coming. So that might be why she quit like
Wow.
couple months ago. So yeah, but apparently how this could go is basically Vince it just looks bad, but at the end of the day, he has 80% voting power. So if they want to vote him out, he could just say, no, I don't agree to vote myself out. And
For
life goes
sure.
on, but he just looks bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, this
It
isn't
could
new.
cost
I
them
mean,
stock market price. Like people might think this is not,
this is what happens when you make your company go public. When you make your
yeah,
company
you can't
go
do
public.
shit. You can't
No,
fucking, you gotta be,
exactly.
you gotta mind your P's and Q's.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's right for what he did. He might have sexually harassed this girl. Like, I'm not saying that's true, but I mean, there's a lot of things that could have go wrong, could have happened. You know what I mean? So why would you pay $300,000 to somebody for hush money? I mean, that's more than
Sketchy as
just a
hell.
slight slap on the ass.
Sketchy as
You know
hell.
what I'm saying? Like, but this is why you don't go public. This is because the people that are going to buy into your fucking company are not wrestling fans.
No,
No
no.
wrestling fan's gonna spend billion. No, 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 no. You got some fucking old man that's an oil tycoon that sits in his goddamn living room all day, looking at a TV with a bunch of numbers, doesn't care
Hmm.
about anybody. All he wants is positive up and cut this guy, cut this. Look, they're making other roster cuts, aren't they? Aren't they letting a bunch of people go soon? That's what I read
Allegedly,
somewhere, that
yeah.
they're supposed to allegedly let another bunch of people go. So why are you letting all these people go unless it's just to recoup money? Who's wanting to recoup money? Obviously, it's not the general manager who's like, hey, let more talent that I need to make this show good go. No, it's a bunch of fucking
They're
shareholders
trying
sitting
to
at home
placate to the shareholders, of course.
trying to make
Yeah.
more money. My profit's not good enough. He should have never gone into public trading. That was the stupidest and dumbest fucking idea that company ever fucking had. And it's turning on the family. They're going to lose everybody thought that they were going to lose to another wrestling company. They're going to lose
To
to their
corporate
own
America.
shareholders.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
they're going to vote and sell them to Disney. And then we're going to watch a bunch of clowns prance around for 5-year-old kids. And they're going to call that wrestling.
No, yeah, definitely crazy. I mean, definitely WWE, the company is at a maybe weakest point ever in terms of like management. Um, no one ever really like became the next Vince. I guess Vince doesn't ultimately trust anyone to do that. And then he's just gonna end up freaking dying, and then the company's gonna go like that's what happened to a lot of the old territories. Like in the late 80s, the guys were old, the owner, and then like they just didn't sell it to anyone, but they didn't have like a son to continue it, so it just
Yeah.
died.
The family wasn't interested in continuing it. The guy was too old to fight anymore
There you
against
go.
other people
Exactly. Because
trying
it's
to
a very
raid the
hard job to be
territory.
a promoter.
It's a
You got to be
hard
a
job.
prick. You got to travel a lot.
Oh man.
It's crazy. It's a
I
crazy,
was
crazy.
I was a promoter for years in nightclubs, and that
It's
is
insane,
cutthroat.
right?
And I would only imagine how wrestling must be. How a dude must just walk into somebody's arena and be like, "Listen, fuckhead, this is where we promote. You get the fuck out, or we whoop your ass and slash your tires and shit like that." Shit used to happen all the time in the '80s.
Yeah.
Sugar in your gas tank, like all kinds of fucked up shit. Like people used to be rough, like rough because it wasn't filmed. There was no film. There was no
That's
proof.
it.
It was all word of mouth. You could get away with so much threatening. I mean, just look at the show Young Rock. Like
Yeah. Great
he
series.
kind he kind of touches on it with what his grandma was like at one
Yeah.
point, like going around saying, "This is my."
Threatening the other guy. Yeah.
That's how it was, though.
Yeah.
That's how it fucking was,
They have to
man.
protect their territory.
Yeah, because that's what paid their bills. That's what put food on their table. You know, there wasn't no internet to where, oh, we could both survive. You know, there's the internet, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like today, there's 27 fucking thousand companies. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
no
like,
one's really like, I mean, AEW like is good for wrestling fans, but nothing's really in the mainstream of pop culture right now, wrestling wise, the way Austin was, or you know what I mean, Hogan.
no, because the only company that did it was the WWE, and then they decided to water down their product to be more because he wanted to go public and make a big fucking shawoopa of money and do this and have our own TV station. And then instead, because when something's cool, that's when it's popping.
Yeah.
The reason AEW is popping is because right now it's still cool. The day that it stops being cool, it doesn't pop anymore. Even if you got 3 million people watching it, like WWE has millions of people watching it, but still people insult it and they don't think it's cool because it's not cool. It's mainstream.
True.
Once you go mainstream, you're just a Titanic waiting to hit your iceberg. What makes something cool and survive is the cool kids. When the cool kids turn away from what you're making, it's not going to be cool anymore. The mainstream, the pop, they all let every guy that was a one-hit wonder, he had a fucking single that was amazing. And what happened after? Everybody turned their back on it. But then you got artists that make albums that only sell a few 100,000 copies. They've had 20 fucking year careers, cult followings. and they retire happy and not depressed and not on drugs. It's the same thing in wrestling in a sense. That's what happened to the WWE. It became so mainstream that now it's not cool. It's
Yeah, and
kid.
I can't see it trying. I mean, I don't know if it could ever become cool again. I don't
Probably
know.
not.
I mean,
I mean, they had it when they had NXT the way it was.
that's
Triple
true.
H was
NXT was cool. NXT had that cool factor. You're definitely
NXT,
right about that.
had the
You're
cool kids,
definitely right
and
about
then
that.
they went and
And they
said, "No,
ruined it. They ended it
oh,
on
they ruined
purpose.
it. Oh, they did. They said we don't want cool kids. We want kids."
Exactly. Yeah, literally. And now it's like a show for like 11-year-olds, kind of, which makes
It
no
is.
sense.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Like, didn't he crown himself tag team champion last week on Raw? On Raw, or is it this week? Him and John Laurinaitis or some shit like that. I saw something like there was a post of McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and they were like, "Are you fucking serious?" And it had the Raw tag team titles or something like that.
That I'm not sure, but we'll have to look into that.
I'll have to look into it. I don't even watch the goddamn show anymore.
I
I
didn't
hate
watch
that.
Raw either, as we said last week, and like, there's no point in really covering these WWE storylines. If anything major happens, we will cover it. This week,
Exactly.
we've covered Vince McMahon. I think that's good enough. Let's get
That's
in.
good enough.
That's it. Let's get
Let's get
into
into
some.
some wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's get
wrestling.
into, before we do our AEW Dynamite review, though. Let's do a little preview of the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view,
Hey,
because
Slammiversary's stacked.
yeah, so Slammiversary. Let's go over the matches quickish. Briscoes versus Good Brothers for the
That's gonna
tag
be
team
insane.
titles. I mean, that's an
It's gonna
excellent
be
match.
insane.
Anyone who loves tag team wrestling knows that that's awesome. Those are personally two of my favorite tag teams of the modern era. If not, probably my two favorite. Good Brothers. Sometimes when they joke around too much, I'm like, okay, but when they're really fucking serious, I love it.
Yeah, when they're serious and they concentrate on what they're supposed to do as wrestlers, they're fucking amazing. When they jack off and turn into two teenage kids drinking beer, making 80s fucking Porky's
References
jokes
and
and stuff, like, I mean, it's funny.
it's
I'm not dissing
exactly, it's fine, it's
it.
funny, but it's not
Funny,
like
but it's
they're not my favorite when they're like that.
yeah, when
It's
he's
just
got too
funny.
bad and daddy dangly and all that shit, it's like, okay, bro, like it's
No, that's
funny
it. It's a
one
bit too
time.
much at a certain point, but I do always love the Good Brothers, though, for sure.
Oh, since they've been back in the Bullet Club,
Yeah, it's always, they're more serious.
they're more serious and
See
it's
them
and
lay
it's
some beat downs. That's what's really, because I just love to see Dog Gallows beat the shit out of people because he's so big.
he is. He's fucking awesome, man. But hey, let's give props also to the fucking machine gun. He is the open weight, fucking never open weight. How did they fucking call that stupid title in New Japan? He's the open weight, never open weight
Yeah, it's
fucking
yeah.
gay champion.
Wow.
I don't even understand what the fuck the sense of that title is. What is the name of that title? The never open weight title. Is that what it is? Why is it never
I
open
think
weight? What
it's
the fuck
like,
does never open weight mean?
I think it means like anyone can win it in some weird
Basically,
way,
uh,
directly translated. I don't
so
know.
basically it's the X division title, which
Kind
doesn't
of.
have a weight class. It's just a style of wrestling. So that's their, well, it existed before the X division title, but that was their fucking
I mean,
play
we
on.
could complain about Feds having too much titles in North America, but New Japan has a ridiculous amount of titles.
They do, they do, they
Like, when,
do.
if you
They
watch like their pay-per-views, it's like, okay, there's like way too many title matches, and it's like,
I know. And then they bring in the Noah titles too and defend
that's
them on
it.
TV. And you're just like lost. You're like, okay, who? What the fuck? Whoa,
The
okay,
fans
there's
respect titles on a different level there, but their
because
titles
they're
do still mean a lot, especially their world title means a lot.
it means a ton. So yeah. So the fucking the Good Brothers and the Briscoes, man,
Yeah,
rematch is
should
gonna
be
be
a hell
good.
of a match.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the Queen of the Mountain, which we talked about last week, which is a cool, it's like, it's such a TNA gimmick that they got to do it. Like, I think they should always keep that.
Yeah,
It's
they
kind of a
should.
weird gimmick, but it's cool.
It's
There's been
cool. And
some
I mean,
cool ones.
and they added damn, why did I forget her name all of a sudden? I have her face and I hit Mickey James is going to be the special guest referee. So they
There
found
we
a way to
go.
add her into the match too without her being a direct you know what I mean, participant. Obviously something's going to happen. She's going to slap somebody silly in the face during it.
For
I
sure.
was wrong. Taya Valkyrie is not in that match. I thought she was in that match, but she is having a tag title match with Rosemary against the Influence, Madison Rain and Tennille Dashwood. So she will be at the pay-per-view, just not in that match.
Oh, and speaking on that, did we say this already on the show that Caleb is no longer in Impact? Is that even like
I love
newsworthy?
Caleb.
He was
I love
good. I always liked him actually
Caleb.
since the Indies.
I actually talk to him sometimes on Instagram. Nice guy.
This guy trained.
Caleb.
He was trained by the great George South.
Hey, he was, and his dad was a wrestler. He's a second generation wrestler, Caleb Conlon. Former what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah,
Paragon
that Paradigm
in Vegas.
that from Vegas. It was on Fight Network. Yes.
Yeah, he was the fucking champion there with Hammerstone as his bodyguard, who's the fucking champion in MLW, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb, to me, has always been used in a joking matter in Impact, except that time he had the run with Shane Helms, who the North Carolina boys.
Yeah.
It was
True.
Andrew Everett, Caleb, and
Trevor
what's
Lee.
his, yeah, Trevor Lee. That's it. I had the name in my head, but I was like, no, it wasn't Trevor Lee. His name, yeah, Trevor Lee. They were the dudes from North
Yeah.
Carolina, you know what I mean? Then he was in a more serious, and you got to see his in-ring talent a little bit more, you know. And then they brought him back as a fucking comedic role, which he did. He did well. I mean, he did well. But at one point, he probably said, because he said he didn't like the way it finished with Impact, which basically means he probably said, "Do you guys have something else for me? Like, can I
He would have
actually
been
rest?"
perfect in the X division, just as
He
a
would have.
serious high flyer.
He would have. And I'm
You
kind of
know,
sad
why
that
didn't
he
they ever
never.
try giving him that? I don't know. They always
I
want
don't
him to
know.
be like this male manager,
Yeah, I don't
but
understand why. I
for
never
the
got
women,
into.
always a male manager for the women. I guess they
Yeah,
liked
yeah,
him in that gimmick. He did pull it off well. Sometimes you can do something well and it's like it's a negative against you in a way because he
exactly.
does it so well that like they want him to keep doing it. Whereas
Yeah,
maybe if he wouldn't have been good at it, they'll be like, fuck it, then just do whatever you're best at. But
yeah,
if you know what I mean,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
that could be like anything in life. That's not just about wrestling, right?
Yeah. So we have to mention that though about that because Caleb's gone,
Yeah.
Jonah's gone,
Yeah, already.
W Morrissey's gone,
Yeah.
Willie Mack is gone.
Wow, I didn't hear that one. Willie Mack, one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
Willie Mack's contract came up. He parted ways amicably with the company. On to other things. I assume he'll be showing up in MLW, which is basically right now a recreation of Lucha Underground. So I see him going there. W. Morrissey, I would think, will be showing up in AEW again pretty
Yeah.
soon. Or in MLW with Enzo. Maybe that's a goal that they have coming or something set up there to that.
I'd love to
Uh,
see MLW have a stacked roster, but I
they
just
have
don't
a,
know how much of a budget they have.
that's the thing. They already have quite a few
No, they have a
guys.
good roster already, and you know they have guys that they've had for a couple years. That if you want to see them now, you got to go watch them there. Like the freaking Samoan guy, Sam
Yeah,
Fatu,
Fatu. Yeah,
and
Fatu. Yeah.
Eli Hammerstone. Just two examples.
Alex Hammerstone. Yeah,
Holiday.
like that. Holiday. Holiday's good.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Holiday's
really
good.
good heel.
Gino Mendez is good. Who else they got there that I used to love
I don't know if
Injustice.
they still have Filthy Tom Lawler, but where has he
No,
been
he signed
wrestling?
in Japan. Tom Lawler's in New Japan, man. He gone.
Maybe we'll see
He's
him
gone.
show up in AEW.
Maybe, man.
I
Tom
got to do
Lawler.
an in-ring interview with Filthy Tom Lawler once at CRW.
How is he? Is he a good person? Is he
Filthy
cool?
Tom Lawler is an awesome
Yeah,
dude. I must
he
say,
is.
he is a fucking badass. He looks like a dude who is fucking chill, but would kick the shit out of someone. I mean,
Yeah, you don't want to
straight
make him
up,
mad.
straight up.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah,
He's a
him.
pretty simple dude, and at the time, he was a pretty humble dude, man. You know.
He probably still is. I don't think you know guys like that that can usually kick your ass 20
What does he
fucking times.
have? He has nothing left to prove. Everyone already
He,
knows.
he already knows he's the cock in the fucking yard. He doesn't need to fucking walk like he is. He is the big cock in the yard. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, they got a bunch of people there that's good. I really like Mads Kruger, fucking Mil Mortes, man. Ricky Banderas is
Yeah,
legendary. He still is. I think he's
huge,
fucking
huger
50.
than
He's
than people
huge.
think.
Yeah,
Yep.
he is
I
a
got to call one of his
huge.
matches also.
He
NSPW.
and how is he a nice guy too? Is he a chill dude
Um,
or
didn't get to talk to him much. He was pretty intimidating, I would say. But you
he
know
is,
what?
isn't
He was one of the most over like people they brought in. I was pretty surprised because like he wasn't a WWE like remembered guy really or
he? Was
anything
he
like that.
ever? I don't think he ever wrestled one match for WWE. He
I
was
think
just strictly TNA, Puerto Rico, Lucha Underground. I don't think he ever went to WCW
no,
either.
no,
He's
that's it.
strictly off of his TNA days when TNA was really big and all those matches with Abyss and shit
He
like
was
that.
with Relic.
Yeah, he was with Relic, like Ricky Banderas, man. What
But
a
yo, this
fucking
guy's huge and dude, super popular, with the fans.
so
I mean, people
all
like
you
the
promoters out
really
there,
like him.
money well invested, fly
Oh yeah,
in
people
Banderas,
people
man.
bought all kinds of merch from this dude.
Yeah,
So let's yeah, how about Josh Alexander against Eric Young? I mean,
man, the Canadian
Canada
Canadian.
represent
Uh,
Ontario. We're not
what can
Ontario,
you not
but
say? This is going to be a sick ass main event. Sammy Callahan against Moose. Man, that's like
Monsters
2 years
Ball
in the
in a
making.
Monsters Ball. I
And a
don't know.
monster's ball.
I think
Man, that's
Moose
gonna.
might beat the shit out of him. Moose
I
is
see
gonna.
Callahan winning this. I see Callahan having some fucking cards in his sleeve. That's
You think this
Sammy, man.
might be some kind of like cinematic match, perhaps?
I don't know.
Remember
All
they
I
had
know is,
this spot on a bridge? There was like, do you remember this?
yeah, of course I remember that, man.
What an epic thing that was! Like it's like this misty bridge, and Moose is there. Like, I don't know
Yo,
if they're gonna bring that shit back, but it's
Impact did
awesome.
some good cinematic matches, man. Impact did some good cinematic matches,
They
man.
really
For real.
did. I mean, that's where
Look,
the original
cinematic
final
matches.
deletions were, which were way better
Yeah.
than the WWE ones.
Oh man, was it ever? And just the fucking the OGs versus LAX, the new LAX, man, and the
True.
street fights. Those were sick too, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great feud.
Yeah. So looking
So
forward
maybe
to
we will
TN.
see a cinematic match. I mean,
The X Division match is going to be sick. Jack
Ultimate
Evans.
X,
Oh
classic
man,
Impact. We're gonna have Mike Bailey maybe winning his first X Division title here. It's
maybe. Who's in it? Bailey, Jack Evans, Alex Zane, Trey Miguel, Ace
Ace
Austin,
Austin.
and Kenny King, right?
Yeah, Kenny King's in it. Yeah,
Yeah, there's 6 guys in it, and that's the match. Yeah, 6 guys.
Bailey
So
stands a
just,
chance. I'll say a good
oh yeah,
chance.
but
I'm cheering for
just
him.
just getting to watch Alex Zane
Oh
in
yeah.
an Ultimate
You know
X
what?
is
Honestly, I'll say that this guy I've had my eyes on for a while. He came to C4. I'd say like 3, 4 years ago at this point, but man, no, this guy is like he's another crazy high flyer, man. Just add him to the list of those crazy high flyers.
oh, that's what I'm saying.
No, he really
Of
is.
course,
He really is.
Ace Austin is just a gift that keeps on giving. Now he's a member of the Bullet
Bullet
Club, so you
Club,
can.
yeah.
I would assume
Now he's
Chris
got even
Bay.
more swag.
Oh yeah, I'd assume Chris Bay and fucking Phantasma are probably gonna make some fucking appearances and cheat here and there to try to get Ace to keep his title. I see that happening. I don't think
That could be
I,
what happened.
Jay White's gone from Impact, not because he doesn't like the company, but because he just doesn't have time
Oh,
anymore.
now he's champ for
Yeah, now he's
New
champ. He
Japan.
just doesn't
So
have. So I mean, the Bullet Club is basically going to be Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Phantasma, and the Good Brothers in Impact now. So until the Good Brothers contracts are up at the end of July, do they stay? Do they leave? Is this a passing of the torch from the Good Brothers to the Briscoes? You guys have the tag division now. Are we going to see America's Most Wanted show up tonight? That's something that I would fucking do, man, in Nashville. James Storm doesn't have a
That's it,
contract
because
anywhere.
that's true. This isn't the
Chris
final
Harris,
card here. Shit could
Chris
still
Harris.
change.
Oh man, Chris Harris has been making appearances every now and then over the last few years. I could see it because I know they were supposed to do this a couple of years ago, right before COVID hit. They were supposed to do this big thing with a bunch of guys from Impact. Kazarian and Daniels were supposed to
Oh
be
yeah,
there.
Kazarian's back too.
Yeah, and then they were supposed to bring back the Amazing Red. Low Key was supposed to make some appearances. A bunch. They were supposed to celebrate TNA
Yeah,
basically,
and they
and then
never
it was
got to really do it because of the COVID.
no because of COVID. I
Mhm.
think that
This will kind of
yeah,
be
I think
that kind of. Maybe we'll see Jeff Jarrett. I predict Jeff Jarrett shows up somewhere.
he'll show up just because it's
Dixie Carter?
Slammiversary.
No.
It's the maybe. I mean,
Yeah, I
she's.
know. Maybe. Why not? Like she could
I
just be
mean, why
like,
not
"Hello" for
have her
1 second
come out
and
and
leave.
say hello and watch the match? Oh, we had Dixie Carter sitting by ringside,
Yeah.
interview her, have her talk. I mean, at the end of the day, she put money in that company. Like,
Her era wasn't like the worst era necessarily.
it
Well,
wasn't. I
no, it
mean,
wasn't. She had some good parts. Let's say.
there's some things that were done good, and there's some things that were stupid. Did she make bad decisions? Probably. Did
Yeah.
she make good decisions? I
She
assume
tried to
she
make
did.
it good. Let's say, she
She
tried.
tried to, and some people took her money and ran with it.
Definitely. Some people took advantage of her and fucking were lazy as fuck in the ring, like Kevin Nash. Original guy to
It's a
do
good
that to
example.
TNA.
You know what I'm saying? And Scott Hall came in, took money. God
Mhm.
rest his soul. Those were the years that he was really blitzed out of his goddamn mind sometimes in the ring. Scott Steiner was just fucking.
He was
I
there the
love
whole
Scott,
time,
but
Steiner.
he's just not fucking controllable. Who you see on TV is who you get in real
I
life.
bet. Yeah.
A lot of people don't seem to understand that that's who Scott Steiner has become.
He's
Not who
just
he
nuts.
was.
That's
It's
it.
who he has become. That's what steroids does to your fucking brain, people.
Long
Too many
term like that.
steroids rots your goddamn brain, man.
Yeah.
But all those guys, they came in. Booker T has said a bunch of things. You fucking took advantage of her too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a bunch of
At the
people
end of the
have come in.
day, I mean, we'll look back on it. There were some good memories to be had. So
Great.
we got to wrap up the part 1 here of Pro Wrestling Tonight here this week, and we're gonna come back with
With
our
the AEW.
Dynamite review. Yeah, AEW Dynamite review for this week, part 2 coming up. So stay tuned for that.